Hi everyone, my name is Nicola Wood and I'm founder of Hair Made Easi. Today we're going to do a podcast on online education versus in-person education. So we're going to talk about the strengths, the weaknesses of both and what our guests do. So can we start with you, Sam? Do you do online education?
Yeah, I actually do. I just started an advanced education style subscription on my Instagram because I did find that people wanted more. And then there's only so much you want to give away on your Instagram page, because I think these longer form videos, I found that they needed an extra home. And then some of them, my husband was like, you should really be charging for this. So then that's why I set up that subscription on my Instagram. And it's been great. And it's just given me a really good way to direct people that maybe they've done like a masterclass, or maybe they've already been certified with someone else, but they're looking for something more. So then I direct them to that. And then, it's easy. It's $10 a month. If they want to cancel anytime, they can. But I always open a line of communication with them as well. And it kind of helps me get to know them on a personal level.
Yeah, absolutely. And which do you prefer doing? Would you say that you like doing the online stuff as much as you like the in-person, or do you have preference?
I love in person. I still love in person because then I'm able to really connect with them, communicate with them. I can see their work there and then, and I can physically show them. Sometimes things get lost in translation online. However, for me, I'm a very visual learner. So I feel like for me, I like to look at videos a lot. I'm very visual, and you can show me something and I'll be able to replicate that, rather than I have a lot of people that cannot work that way. So then they are just someone that needs that in-person class. But for me as an educator, I'm such a people person. So I still love that in-person class. And I think COVID as well has changed people a lot. Rather than, for me, COVID made me go the opposite way. I'm like, I miss people. I want to see you. I want to hug you. I want to connect with you,
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I love both. I feel it's adapting to different learning styles because we all learn in different ways. So I can honestly say, since I've always done in person first, and then at the beginning of this year, I released my very first online course. And that took me 7 months to build. It was not a quick fix. And even at that, still 10 months down the line, I'm still forever adding on to it. But when I'm doing my online education, I make it super interactive. And I want it to feel like the in-person experience. So it's not just slides of writing, it's me in a little video being like, hi, and I'm just rambling on, kind of like what I would do in a class. And that way that there's no points missing when I'm delivering the online session. So I mean, I love both. Yeah, definitely.
I'm the same. I like to offer both options. Some people learn in different ways. My online learning platform is very interactive, like Jaclyn said. My students between each module can talk to me in a chat form, and they can access different things and work on different steps. It won't just be one video that suits all. So it's tailor-made to their learning experience. And some people can't get away, they can't get childcare, they like to learn in their own time. It sounds crazy, but I've just recently got a puppy and I didn't want to go to face-to-face courses because I don't have the time. So I brought an online course, and the way the guy has done the course is amazing because it's called week 1, week 2, I watch it in my own time, watch the videos, and I love it. And I've even as an educator learned things from him, and he's a puppy trainer. Yeah. But I love that type of learning, and normally I like learning face-to-face, but I've really enjoyed that as well. So I think it's important having both.
Nice to have the option for the different learners.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
I have just started doing both. My online course is starting next year, but for me it is exactly like you say, with the different learners, but it's also, I'm quite an anxious person, so it takes me a lot to get out of the door to a brand new place surrounded by other stylists or anything like that. So I know how it can feel sometimes for people to walk into a room not knowing anyone, and I feel like it's just offering what I would want as well. I'm kind of thinking the way I would, what would I want? What would I prefer? And for me, the online is for them people that don't feel as confident kind of stepping into them rooms with people. But I also feel like for me as well, myself not being that confident in some ways, I'm able to put way more out on this online because it's just like, it gives me the time to get my head down onto a piece of paper and put it all on an online course. So I find actually people will get more from me on the online course, and more than I could ever give in a day, kind of thing. So they're a lot more powerful in some ways, but I do love the in-person because I obviously love meeting people and stuff. But I think now I've started getting into the online, it's given me like a new fire and a real big passion for it, because it's whenever I've done courses, if there's always an online option, I'll do it rather than in person.
Okay. It's really interesting, isn't it? Sienna, which do you prefer?
I don't actually offer online yet, but that's something I would definitely be open to possibly next year. But I feel like when I've attended courses or not attended, I've bought courses online. It's nice to watch back in my own time and just feel when want to go over something, then it's there. Like that's what I like about that. But when I have obviously doing my master classes and personally going on courses myself in person, I do love going there and having the whole day and seeing how it actually really is all done without it being edited, and just asking the questions. And also my clients and people attending my course, it's nice to have them ask in person the questions they want to know, and it just works really well for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't really do any online courses when I was doing my training. But it wasn't because I didn't want to do it. It was because it wasn't available. It's years ago since I did my education. So if you can just explain to me, how do you regulate your course and get somebody through that course when it's online? How does that work?
I've kind of got a bit of a few step process before a certification even begins. And because my students are worldwide, I have to make sure that online course covers me for all that as well. But we've got I'm forever adding into this portal is like my baby, because it's like every bit of knowledge is in this container and then it's forever getting added into. So I feel like as time goes on, the industry evolves, the method evolves, and I need to make sure that if my students have got anything that they're unsure of, or that they've any questions that pop up, I'm going to put something in, and then that's something you can give in online that you can't give in person. Yeah. So it's like you say, you get the absolute, motivation from stepping away from the in-person. And I think what's a great thing to add in is your in-person is having like an online portal that they can refer back to. And then that way they're getting like maximum value from your education.
Yeah, I've started giving a lot of like digitals with the in-person, because like I said, I was finding like I wanted to give more and like the time limit of a day kind of thing. So it was like, what can I give you in like a digital form so we can like kind of channel the best in person. So then you can go away and kind of focus on that at home in your own pace and stuff like that. And so it's like combining both of them really. I think that's quite important, like say different learning styles and stuff like that.
So do you have certain units that they have to complete? So they'll do those units, they'll show you that they can complete those units.
It's like drip fed.
How does that work? So on the assessment side, how does that work?
So it's like they don't get access to the next module until I'm happy with everything I've seen. And it is sort of like there's a barrier. So it's like until we're happy, and we'll just keep going over and over it. And unfortunately, like, I won't let you go into that until, like, I'm happy. And I think, again, that's where the online, for me, is stronger, because you can actually be like, no.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going any further, let's go again.
It's like you can refer back to that lesson, and that's what I do. I kind of went off on a tangent when I was talking about that there, but, like, that they need to complete all the modules, and then they have to complete each step strategically. And if they come back and I'm not happy, I'm like, you need to refer back to module 1, lesson 2. Let's go back to that, try it again, send it in, then I'll continue to give you feedback. And again, it's going back to that, you need to be available for your students, and you need,
I think it's really powerful.
So do they send you video content of what they've done step by step? Will they do a full fitting, or do they break that down?
I think I've not launched mine yet, so this is more of a question probably for Jaclyn, but my idea of it is that they will send me photos, videos, very interactive, whatever's best, FaceTime kind of thing. Like you say, you've got to be there for them, like kind of thing. So again, whatever that student wants from me, whether it's a quick like voiceover or anything like that, then I think it's whatever the student wants, videos or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know how you do it.
Well, I mean, my lessons are very broke down, like literally bead by bead, you know? So I'm like, right, I need a snapshot and a video and an interactive, you talking me through this, and I need to see you physically doing it, right? Okay, your hand placement's right. No, you need to have, you know, and that's how I've broken down the course so intricate, is because I want them to complete the baby steps. But I don't want to just see the foundation, the end. I want to see the baby steps, and then if I'm happy, it's the small details that matter, you know?
So really they could be giving you more than they would do face to face, because you're asking for more.
Yeah, you're asking for more.
And you're watching them every step, whereas in person, like, especially if you've got a few people, you go in between. So I think you are literally watching every single piece of work that they're doing.
I'm finding my students will also spend more time practicing that one step, which means they will have a better practice instead of just doing it once and then going on to the next thing. Whereas it will be a to and fro thing. You know, mine's a little bit further down the line in terms of building it online, but I'm going to be launching it again beginning of next year. But I've already uploaded it all on there, and I've brought down the modules so many times because I'm like, actually, I need a video of that. I need a video of that. Yeah. And it's going to take them a while to get through it, but it's going to be amazing for them, for sure.
So do they have a theory that they've got to complete first before they get to the
Yeah, that's my separate course on mine, yeah.
Right, okay.
Even my in-person experiences, there's like a whole pre-learning material sent out prior to even attending the class, and that has to be gone over before they attend the class as well.
I'm same with my one-to-ones. They have to complete their online theory, and then I get all of the results, what they got wrong, what they didn't, and then we go through them on the day before we do the practical, because realistically I wanted to spend more of the one-to-one doing the practical than the theory. But I wanted to understand they knew what they were talking about, so I would quiz them and go do a bit of a back and forth.
It gives them time to think of questions as well, you know, and then that way they're not beating themselves up leaving the class saying, oh, I wish I asked that question. Whereas if you're giving them that time to digest that theory side of the knowledge, and then they'll be like, actually that's a question that I need to ask when I get there, it just gives it more of a learning experience for them. Yeah.
So if they're doing in-person course, do you give them any of the theory that you're going to be doing throughout the day before? Yeah. Do you do that in America, Sam?
I like to upload like videos. So I'll be like, okay, if you're coming to a masterclass tomorrow, here's some videos of what we're going to be doing. So on day one, we'll do like tapes and K-tips. So I'll do videos on that. But I like to focus a lot on day two, like weft. I feel like people have a really hard time with weft. So I always like to do that. And they don't have to do it. It's not a mandatory thing. But I will tell you, I can always tell the difference between someone that has been watching my videos and someone that hasn't, because the people that have watched will already know how to thread their looper tool. They'll already know how to thread their needle and tie their needle. Sometimes they'll already have an understanding of, you know, what a blanket stitch is, what I mean by your pocket of hair, all these different things. So you're not having to kind of do the groundwork with them. They already know it. And then I feel like they walk away with so much more, because then they can focus on the really important stuff like the anchor, how to perfect your blanket stitch, how to perfect your move ups, things that are going to matter when they see the client. So I think what Emily and Jaclyn are doing is actually really good, because there is so much to it, and you're going to get more from it if you already come with just like a basic understanding.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you say is the importance in the type of tools that you get your students to use? So when it comes to kits, do you like to offer them quality kits? Do you want to give them decent tools to be starting off with, especially from people that are not in the industry already? How important is that to you in your education that you give?
So important, so important.
Your tools can just really make it easy or hard.
The best compliment you can get from a student is when they sit down in class and say, this is amazing, like this kit, this everything that you supplied, this is amazing.
They get so excited, don't they? They're like, yay, is this all mine? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh my God.
The kit, yeah. I mean, I've been to courses where it's like, I can tell that's a £1 plier. I can tell that's like, you know, you've just took a little handful of beads, and I'm like, they're
pink plastic razor.
Yeah, they're paying all that money, you know, it's like the least you can do is give them something to be proud of walking away with. So I spend a fortune on my kits for my clients and I love it.
But I think as well, when you're new to something, to have a tool that just makes it easier for you and is the best tool, they're going to get better quicker rather than using I think that is just so important, to give them a tool that is going to enable them to learn quicker.
But I think it's also good to give them tools that you use personally, rather than just being like, oh, that's a cheaper version, I'll just shove that in their bag. Like, give them what you use.
And set them up for success as well. It's important that we set them up for success. If you're giving them something like, I remember I went to a class and they gave me like 15 beads and they're like, that's going to be enough for today. And I was like, oh, well, I kind of want something that I can go and, you know, do models with. So I think it's important that the kit is going to be amazing and it's great for that day of education. But then when they leave, they still have enough in there to do a few installs with, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's where, obviously, I've done education and I moved on to tools because there was nothing in the industry, and there was nobody focusing on the tools. And that's, for me, that was why it was so important to make sure that the standards lifted. I mean, how many courses have you been on and they've given you a pair of black and red B&Q pliers to go and fit the hair extensions?
eBay. I saw my whole kit on eBay from one of the classes and I was like, oh, that was such a waste of money.
But you can really tell the difference. You really can. Like when you get your hands on one tool to another, or if you upgrade yourself, like you can really tell that difference.
It's going back to like almost kind of like the education. It's like you buy cheap, you buy twice. You really your tools, you buy cheap, you buy twice.
Because for me, it's the whole concept of, you're going to a course, if it's an in-person course especially, you turn up, you get your kit, it's all laid out in front of you. You've either got a beautiful kit or you've got a really cheap kit. Now, if you're sat there and you know that the kit is cheap, what's the education going to be like? You know, if they're scrimping on the kit.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got to try and put yourself forward then as being a really good educator.
Yeah, when the tool is breaking or something goes wrong, it makes you look like you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. And I think as well, for me, it's the importance of understanding that you do need decent tools, because it will make your life easier. And all those tools in the cheap kits, I keep calling them cheap kits, but all those tools, most of them are just going to go in the bin. So you've gone there, you've done your course, you've had an amazing experience with your educator, but you're going to have to go out and start again with your kit. So there's really no point, is there? Which, you know, it's obviously something that I'm very passionate about, because that's what we do. We do the tools, and, you know, I love the fact that you all use the tools, and I love the passion that you show when you're using them, and it, you know, it just, hopefully it makes your lives easier in the salon as well.
But I think the students, when you like show them the tools that like obviously you guys provide, they really see the difference as well. Like their feedback is straight away is like, wow, these feel good, like kind of thing. It is. You can just tell straight away the quality.
And you've got your quality kit, you've got quality education at the side of it, so it works hand in hand. Absolutely.
Clients love it. They're like, oh, your tools match the salon, because the salon's black and gold, and like all the Hair Made Easi, black and gold. So they love it. They think I'm so bougie, and I'm like, yeah.
That's amazing. Well, thank you very much, ladies. That was an amazing session there. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sam.